G'day guys and welcome to episode number 1 of me building my shed gym. This is going to be a video series documenting me building my fully equipped powerlifting gym in my home shed and sort of getting you guys to follow along with the full experience. I'm going to be buying some new stuff, some used stuff, and yeah, just fully equipping a powerlifting gym so I can train to compete in an environment that is more similar to what I'll get at a competition. Locally there isn't really too much on offer for competition standard equipment, so thought might as well do it myself. This is an Australian build, so Rogue isn't as accessible in Australia. I'll get into that later on, but there is a few other companies like Verve that I'm probably going to be looking into, and that's it. Let's go and have a look at the space first up. Righto, so here we are in the space. We're going to go in and have a look at the mess that we've got to deal with. Let's do it. Righto, so here we are in the mess, and as you guys can see, it's an absolute mess. So I've used this as a dumping ground for the past about 2 years, just throwing whatever I can in here. And the result is it is an absolute schmozzle in here. So we're gonna get the skip bin in, clean it out, and this is gonna be the new home of the strength space, which is such a good time. It's very hot in here. It's about 35 degrees at the moment, and it's not even a hot day. It's like 30 degrees. For Australia, that's pretty cold in the middle of January, which is the middle of our summer. So I will need some fans. That's going to be a later episode. I am expecting a call from Verve very shortly to deal with equipment, racks and all that sort of stuff. See what we can do with shipping and get it here and get it in. But probably the first step will be to clear all this shit out. So that will be a good time. Probably do a time lapse or something like that when we finally get around to that. But that's a big boy skip bin hire job. So we received the call from Verve and they picked up that I overlooked a little thing in my order. So they actually do a package with a bar, the rack, the bench, the plates, and it was like a $1,600 package or a $1,700 package. So they picked up on that. We've made some adjustments, and then I had a full incline-decline bench additional to the flat bench in a package quote. And so now we're playing around with that. We're moving to see what we can do to get the price down, and especially on that shipping and handling. So far, shipping and handling is looking to be around the $500 mark, which I'm not too keen on. So we'll continue to try and work that down, but we are moving over a ton worth of equipment, and yeah, I can understand why the shipping and handling is up there. So this is their commercial power rack package with iron plates, and it does come with an Olympic bar, so I think I'm going to get that Olympic bar changed out. They've been really good with that, so I think they're going to give the power bar instead of the Olympic bar in this package. And I'm going to stick with a flat bench. Not that flat bench you can see there. I'm not too much of a fan of that. Actually, the quote has just come through, so I'll update you guys with what price we're looking at. Righto, so the quotes come in as you guys just saw, and we have $3,717 worth of equipment sitting in our cart ready to go. We've got a 5% discount for the New Year's sale, and we also got over $500 worth of extra value just going with that package instead. So you can see that we went with the commercial rubber gym flooring in 15 mil. So I've got 16 tiles of that, so that's 16 square meters. We've got the mono attachment there for the rig, and that is $275. We got $12 off the flooring, which was a nice little discount. And we also got some collars. They are out of stock at the moment, but they'll ship when we finally get them. When they finally get them in stock, I guess. Then we've got the Olympic plates here, so I went with 6 sets of the 20 kilos, and there's another set in the rack, commercial rack package. Then we went with the iron plates in the 2.5s and also the 1.25s, because all the rest of the plates are included in this last holy grail of a package down the bottom. And that bottom package has our rack, our bar, our bench, and how much extra in plate weight, like I think it's like 120 kilos worth of plate weight, all in that bottom package, which was $1,700. So that is a fantastic package, and all up we ended up coming to $3,717, as I did tell you. So we got $167 off for the discount, and you can see a shipping cost there was $526, which you've got to assume that shipping all this tonnage has got to cost something. So not too mad with that. It just is annoying that that is like another really good barbell that you could have bought if there was free shipping on these sites. But just the way of the game. They've got to make money too. Righto, so it's the next day and that order that I just showed you has been placed with Verve Fitness. So they say that it should come within about a week. That's what most people are saying. So it's coming from the Gold Coast and I'm in Victoria, so it needs to be freighted basically across the whole country just to get to me, but that's okay. It shouldn't be too long. There is another purchase that I did make last night that I didn't actually share with you, and it is the Goliath deadlift bar. I'll show you guys what that looks like now. So here's the Goliath deadlift bar, and it is basically the same specs as the Texas deadlift bar. Obviously the collars this part of the collar here isn't as thick, and you don't get as much whip because it isn't as wide. But other than that, it is basically the same specs as a Texas bar, but a Texas deadlift bar is really expensive to get in Australia. They're nearly $1,000 and they're always out of stock. You have to go on a waiting list. So I went with this Goliath deadlift bar for $3.99 and it was only $26 shipping, which is really good. Okay, so one extra thing is I am waiting on a Facebook Marketplace ad to come back to me. There is a NC Fitness bench, which is a pretty good bench. They retail for about $250 plus shipping in Australia, and there's a listing for $150, basically brand new. So I thought I'd better have a look at that. I'm waiting for the bloke to get back to me. If I do get that bench, that means I've at least got the incline, decline bench sorted, and then I have a flat bench, which is more of a competition spec bench. And then I'm basically done for benches for quite some time. So this is the incline, decline bench that I'm waiting on. You can see it's got the full incline, decline setup. It's got the foot padding down the bottom, and it just looks in really good condition. So if I can get this for $150, we'll at least save like $250 on an incline decline bench, because that's how much it was going to cost me from Verve. So fingers crossed that we can get this one. If not, we'll just have to wait for Facebook Marketplace to provide the goods on another bench. Righto, so I got the message back from that seller. This is the next day now, and he said it was all good. So he's away overseas at the moment, so I have to pick it up next week. But I think we secured that bench for $150, which is saving me $140. So I basically got it half price, because the bench brand new is an extra $100 plus $40 shipping. So done pretty well with that one. Now I'm just going to duck off to down to Kmart, I think, and get like a set of bands, maybe a fan, and some of that sort of stuff, just the smaller stuff, maybe even a mirror. I'm not quite sure. I'll see what they got, but I'll let you guys know when we've got that all sorted. Righto, so we're back and we've managed to get a few pickups. Didn't get the mirror, that'll be for a later purchase, but we did end up getting a fan, a plyo box, and 2 sets of bands, a heavy band and a medium band. So here we have the plyo box, and you can see it's just got a nice little rubber topping on it, so no padding or anything required. It's just got the red frame, and it's sort of in that, like it's bigger up here than it is at the base, so you can kind of see how it's a bit angled. So that works out quite well. And then we went and got these resistance bands. We got heavy, light, heavy and medium. I've already got one light, but I'm not really a fan of light bands, don't really need that. But these will be the first time that I actually use bands, and I got 3 band pegs on that Verve rack. And then here we have the big industrial fan that you can see, and this industrial fan, 70 centimeter fan, and 3-speed settings, and it's all metal. So that works out really well. That'll be good for the shed space, because it does get pretty hot in Australia, especially down here. So hopefully that works out quite well. Always can pick up another one if we need a little bit more breeze. So there we have it. That's all today's pickups, and a little savings tip for you guys. So that plyo box there, they sell them online for like $120. Then you have to pay shipping. It's too much of a pain in the ass. And same with bands. Bands are always pretty expensive online, but we managed to get both of them from Kmart, and it's a lot cheaper. So the plyo box was actually getting unpacked from the crate as I was standing in the aisle. So I thought it was meant to be, might as well get it while we're there, and saves us from having to pay exorbitant amounts of money for a simple box that also will then need to be shipped. So that's like another $20 for shipping. So did quite well there. So that's a little tip for you guys. Find the cheaper stuff that you can get, buy it cheap, and then spend money on the good stuff. Righto, as they do, things have changed, and I just want to run you guys through what we are now thinking for the new gym. And it has also flowed on to a change of order from Verve as well. So I'll run you guys through that. But I'll show you first what we're now thinking. Okay, so what we're now thinking is that we'll put our wall straight through here, just this side of that power point there, and then that way comes all the way through here. This whole space here would all then be the gym, and that means I've had to add some extra flooring. So this would be a 26 square meter space, and previously I was only getting 16 square meters, so we had to up that by 10. So what does that mean for the Verve order? Well, of course, these things all end up costing you extra money. So I'll show you guys my new order, and I actually did end up adding some extra stuff that I was sitting on the fence when I first ordered. So I went and added it. I'll show you guys anyway. Let's go and have a look. So here we have it. We have the Verve barbell loading jack. So that's one of the other purchases that I was sitting on the fence about. I'm using iron plates for the first time in this gym, and I do know they can be an absolute pain in the ass to put on and off without some sort of deadlift jack, and I hate the single prong little deadlift jack, so I'd rather the full loading jack, and that was only 125 bucks. So I thought, save my back for 125 bucks, let's do it. Commercial rubber gym flooring, I added an extra 10 pack of that. That was $330. So I added that Olympic weight plate tree just because I will now have 2 barbells, and I was originally just going to keep them inside and then bring them out when I needed them, but now the room's going to be enclosed. I think it should be okay so they don't get too rusty and I won't have to keep up on the maintenance too much. And also I'm going to have like 365 kilos worth of iron plates to store, and I've only got 4 storage pegs coming on the Verve rack. So an extra, however much that Olympic weight plate tree is, really is a much needed help for storing all that iron. And we ended up getting that 5% discount, so the order actually hadn't shipped, so that's why I messaged Verve to see what they could do, and they were really good. They said, well, you know, you've already bought so much, we really appreciate your business, we'll add that extra 5%, even though the sale did end. So I ended up getting $30 off that order. Works out okay, and it was only an extra 90 bucks for shipping on top of all that. So really, for what, mid-sixes, an extra 3 pieces of equipment, extra 10 square meters of flooring space, it works out pretty well. Righto, so the last thing we had to do before this episode is over is go and pick up that NC Fitness bench. I'm gonna go and do that now. I'll bring it back and show you guys. So here we have the NC Fitness bench. Just went and picked it up. It is absolutely fantastic. Really good condition. The bloke just had it living in his lounge room, so it's just a little bit dusty and maybe a few small cobwebs, but other than that, you can see it's in fantastic condition. It's got the ladder system down the bottom. So how many levels of adjustment? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels of adjustment, and it's really simple to use. It's got, he coloured it in a little bit there, but that's alright. I would just like colour that over in black. And then it's got the foot there, so you can do ab work or decline work. There's the rubber handle there to make it really easy to move. It's got wheels on the back. And yeah, everything just seems to be in really good condition. It's very heavy as well. I've already tried it out to sit on it, and it's very sturdy. So overall, very happy with this purchase. 150 bucks, well spent, and $140 saving. So cannot complain. Righto, so that is episode number 1, installment number 1 of the Garage Shed Gym Building Series. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. We've got our Verve equipment sorted, we've got our deadlift bar sorted, we've got our incline decline bench sorted, we've got our bands, our plyo box, and our fan all sorted. Next time we'll be doing some fit out stuff, hopefully get the order in from Verve, and then we can go from there. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Like, subscribe if you want to keep up to date with the series and all my other comp stuff. Tips and tricks, let's keep it going. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay big.